This is a Yamaha YZ250 cylinder barrel. These are the power valves, and these are the bits and pieces that make the power valve work. And this is where they live, right in here. Okay, first up, organize all your parts and make sure you got everything. This is the main power valve. It's got a smiley face cut in it. That faces up when you install it. Everything that moves needs oil. Drizzle it on like maple syrup on a pancake. Stick that thing in place. Perfect. Now that, in the book, they call that a valve holder. Grab that thing and just drop it in that spot right there. And these Allen head bolts, a bit of Loctite. Anything that doesn't move, put some Loctite on it. Okay, the manual says to torque these guys down to 4.3 foot-pounds. Next up is these valve shaft parts. There is a sequence, we have to pay attention. Okay, you got the valve shaft, a spacer. Take note, this is a linkage spacer and lives on the outside end of the power valve shaft, right here. A left pulley guide, a long spring, a washer, a forked spring, a link lever, another forked spring, a washer, a long spring, and a pulley guide. Oh, one more thing. It's a good idea to pre-assemble this lift lever with these springs. It'll just make life a whole lot easier when we start putting this thing back together. Alright? Another thing that's good to know is these pulley guides are side specific. There is a left and there's a right. Plus the orientation, front to back. It's important because this pattern has to be followed. Another good thing to know about the pulley guides is the mounting holes are elongated, which allows for a little bit of play when you put them on the shaft, left and right, which gives you a little bit of adjustment with the power valves when you hook them in and they ride on those guides. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, grab that seal, oil it up, press it in place, and tap it in with the valve shaft and the back end of a screwdriver. Now grease up that shaft and start feeding it through that oil seal you just put in. Start with this left pulley guide, the long spring, then you're going to grab that washer, and then that pre-assembled link lever setup with the two forked springs. Just makes it so easy that we pre-assembled that. Then the other washer, a long spring, and then the final right side pulley guide. Oriented as shown. Perfect. Okay, now let's take a look at the end of that valve shaft. If you take a close look, you'll see there's a notch cut out. Rotate that upwards. That gap allows us to put in a thrust plate, and once we bolt the thrust plate down, we'll be able to turn that shaft back and lock the shaft in place. Okay, now grab the smaller power valves, grease them up. They're not side specific. All we got to do is line them up with that slot facing upwards. Line it up with that casting right there and everything should be perfect. Slide them in, bury them, and then when you grab this link rod, the forks are going to align with those slots in the power valves, and those pins should line up with the pulley guides. There you go, in, and perfect. And then when you move it, you can see it actuates that valve. Nice. Now if we're happy with the position of that link rod, we can go ahead and get some Loctite on those screws and snug everything down. Okay, now we grab this oddly shaped thing. This is the valve holder. Find the little Allen bolt for that. Put some Loctite on it. Locate that thing and snug it down. That one you can actually lock down. Now for the pulley guides, left and right side, get some Loctite on them, but be prepared. We might still have to adjust here. Okay, before we lock down these pulley guides, now's the time to make adjustments. Compare the valves in the closed position. Okay, when it's closed, you can see the right side's okay, but the left side needs to be adjusted. If they're not fully closed, make adjustments as required by repositioning these pulley guides. There we go, that's better. And if that doesn't work, it's probably time to get new pulley guides and pins. Or just live with it, because face it, most of us aren't good enough to miss half a horsepower on one of these hell machines, right? No. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're almost home. Find the O-rings for the side covers, slip them on, and you got a left and a right side. The left side, that one there, has a barbed fitting for a hose to drain out, and the right side has a blank. 2.9 foot-pounds recommended torque on these, and on the cover, the notch faces downwards, and the printed side faces the cover. Put those screws in, 2.9 foot-pounds, and we're good to go. Okay, looking good. See ya!